Show me the money, honey.
You know what? Dollars are important, and they're not the be-all and end-all.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
We're excited that we've created for you free access to over 503 Life's Inside Track episodes where we get to talk about building wealth, insider tips, making house home, even generational, how to create generational wealth, generational legacy. And so really you get access to them from home, office, or on the go. So anytime you need it, you can get it. So what we're going to discover in this particular episode is that when you're investing, you invest in every way, not just dollars. Like I think most of the time when people hear the word investing, they think about, especially when they think of Ken and Yetta Decker and investing, they think about investing in real estate and making good with their money through investing in real estate.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes. And we've done well, and we've helped many others do very, very, very well.
In that way. And yet, if the only thing we did was invest in real estate at the loss of the other areas of our life, it would be a miserable life.
Absolutely. You know, you hear stories all the time of someone that has spent their life building wealth. Yeah. And then if they lose their wife or their family or their spouse, I should say.
Their partner. I think that's
even
the right
their
way
partner,
to say it.
If they lose their health, they will spend everything that they've earned to try and get their health back.
Right.
Whatever medical treatments, however expensive, they'll fly wherever they need to go to try and reinstate that. Yeah. And so investing in just money,
like using money to invest only,
it's not good.
Right, it's not going to help you. I mean, it's a nice extra. That's why in all our stuff we talk about the 5 core star areas, right? We talk about investing spiritually. Those are more areas than ways, but if you don't know where you're investing, you don't know in which ways you're investing either, right?
Right.
So spiritually, relationally.
Do you know I have a bank account that you are unaware of? Actually, you don't realize I call it a bank account, but you know whether it's overdrawn or has surplus in it. You know what kind of bank account that is?
That would be called the emotional bank account.
Yes. And how do I make deposits into the emotional bank account? That might be what someone's saying right now. Because it's not like you go into the bank, you fill out the slip, and you put your money in. It's an act of service. It's a caring thought. It's the card, the sentiment in the card. I learned recently that when you give a Valentine's Day card for Mother's Day and you didn't read the sentiment to realize it, that takes a little withdrawal from the emotional bank account.
Right.
Fortunately, I had it topped up pretty good.
Which is fine, right? So in what ways can you invest? So I want you to think about it right now. Like even if you're not driving and you're able to grab a notepad or a piece of paper or even your phone, your device, and just write down in what ways can you as a person invest in the people's lives that are in your own being, right? Whether it's health, like can you invest by going to the gym? Can you invest by going to the grocery store and getting some better food rather than what might be in the cupboards right now? You can't walk around not investing is really the point. So it's not right. So in what ways do you deliberately desire to invest? Maybe it's to recognize somebody on a day where there is no special occasion. There is no Mother's Day. There is no Valentine's. There's just a choice to acknowledge another person just because they are.
I think that's taken way more valuable, you know, that emotional bank account. That puts more in the account than if you do it on the day it's expected.
Right, because if you give me a birthday gift on my birthday, I'm kind of anticipating one, even when I say don't bother.
No, there's a truth.
Don't bother. You better still bother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. I kind of passed it a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know how that would go. So, and yet if it shows up on a day where there's no understanding or expectation of it, it actually will go even further.
Yeah. Another way I love to invest, I'm learning to love. Let me rephrase that. I'm learning to love. And that is planning. Planning with you even, because if I plan by myself, plan out my days, but I don't collaborate with you on the planning, then it kind of falls flat for you.
It can.
Talk to me a little bit about that, Yetta.
Uh-huh.
Because is that investment powerful when I invest that time with you?
Right, likewise when I do it with you, right? Like
Not
it's
as.
Well, that's kind of funny you say that, because for many, many years, what we would both do is we would actually invest in planning. We would both invest in planning, get out our Google calendars, or in the earlier days, we had these amazing brown books that we would use and write everything out, plan. And our planning would be in opposition to what the other person had wanted to do, or in a separate order,
Sometimes,
or
because there wasn't any
derailed
collaboration.
because there was no collaboration. So investing time in planning, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for the family, then obviously include them in the planning has been very valuable. Just like simple little questions like, would you like to do, what are 3 things that you'd love to do? That's one of our favorite questions now. What 3 things are important for you to do this week? And if we can drill it down to 3 things, now it's a little easier to plan that rather than my laundry list of 100 or so.
Yeah, of the incompletes. Yeah, so planning a date night, even a regular, like scheduling it regularly, because if you easily forget, easily get distracted by what's going on in your life,
Right.
then creating some consistency where there can be spontaneity inside that consistency. This is when I'm spontaneous. It's a date night, it's a specific time, and now I can become spontaneous on what we do during that time.
Right. And then investing just your emotional energy is another way you can invest. How are you going to engage? How are you going to show up? How are you going to be where you are? Yes?
Yeah, I'm trying to, if you can expand on that a little
Well,
bit.
the idea that I can be here but be flat, and what you need me to do is be a little upbeat and gregarious. So if you're funny, I'm funny, and that investment of a way of being actually is another way of investing.
Right. So it's kind of like I'm going to be, if I'm going to be relaxed and calm and quiet and contemplative, as long as I plan for that, that's an investment, right?
Yeah.
It's a way of being that's investing in my rejuvenation, so to speak.
Which is important too. Or investing in learning. Like if you don't invest in learning, that's one thing. But then if you don't invest the time to be able to apply it, now you're in trouble, because you get a return on every way in which you invest.
Yeah. So my challenge to you is today, invest 30 minutes in planning what you want to do and with whom you want to do it. Thanks for the privilege of being able to come alongside you, because we're passionate about us all being positioned for generational legacy.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward